Hello friends around the world, Aga here, welcome. I wanted to share something with you personal today that may add to a context that we're living in currently with the corona, the crown. Maybe I should wear my crown as I'm talking to you. I have been experiencing quite a bit of heavy energies in the place I am at. And I am moving out of this place, but I've been here for 3 weeks since coming back from Asia. And this time I've been here has been really profound in many ways, although it hasn't been easy. So let me give you a little bit of a backstory so you understand the point I want to illustrate. The person I'm staying with is a musician. He is older than me, close to 50 years old. He plays violin, and I came in contact with him while I was in Asia looking for a temporary place to stay in Chicago. And I met him through a client of mine. He needed a therapy. He went through a divorce, and his wife had a Lyme disease, lost his memory, all of his life shattered several years ago, and he had a hard time really recouping from the loss from his ex-wife not recognizing him. They share 2 kids. Well, these are his stepkids. But in any case, when we met online, when we talked if this is going to be a good arrangement, the idea was that we will be working on his well-being. We will work on meditation routine. We'll use different tools that I utilize in my practice, like meditation, altered states, journeys, energy work, and so on, talk therapy as well. And I was given a space to live, and the agreement was I will also pay him some money. So I have arrived here, and obviously the day after the airports started to close, all of the situation with the corona started escalating. And the reality was rapidly changing, right? So for me and for him and for majority of us on Earth, our regular schedule drastically cleared up. The person that I live with stopped going to work. He has a music store. And very quickly, I realized that the energy in this place might not be the best for me, but I am always willing to stand up to the challenge and even have difficult conversations about, what is going on in the house, what he needs, what I need. We don't really stay on the same floor, and in general, everything was fine, except for I could just sense some tension here. And even though he says that he wants to do the spiritual work, he wants to heal, there are hundreds of alcohol bottles in the house for whiskey tasting. He does whiskey tasting, drinks alcohol every day, and also eats a lot of meat, heavy meat. So I suggested that, before first session, we should maybe detox a little bit his system, stay away from alcohol, stay away from meat, which he did for 6 days, and we had our first session. And fast forward 2.5 weeks later, that was Sunday evening, I believe, the situation between us became really, really strange. So I do a lot of physical workouts, and I couldn't sleep very well. I needed a little bit of pickup coffee in order to do my workout. So I asked him if I could make coffee, and his attitude on the outside is very supportive. Yeah, let me make you coffee. He loves to clean. He's obsessive about cleaning. And I offer that I will vacuum the floors, and, I'm happy to help whatever is needed in the house as far as like maintenance, right? Maintaining the cleanliness, because I can see this is like a big thing. And I'm also a clean person, although I don't go with like the brush all over little corners, but I do like a clean space, not just energetically, but physically. Anyway, I drink my coffee, do my workout, and the same evening, I received a message on the phone that he would like me to move out within a week. So it's funny how like you get all the contrast, right, in the span of a few hours. First, it's like, of course, feel at home, and that was like the message. You can use it downstairs for your clients if you need to talk to someone who is coming for a session. And then completely different story unfolded, right? So all of a sudden, I am not welcomed here. He cannot do the spiritual work with me, and I disrespect him. And there's a list of things that are just completely new to me, right? So that happens like at 1 a.m. or something like that. And I told him, with this situation, lockdown, I don't know if I can find a place right away because people are not accepting others right now. Circumstances are a little bit different, and I might need extra time. Obviously, I don't want to stay in a place that is not welcoming me. But that was really not our agreement, and maybe, he can revisit that and we can address the challenges. But obviously, he was not willing to talk about anything. He shut down, and he became quite verbally violent towards me because I told him, there is actually law that now you can't evict me. So he told me he's gonna call the police if I don't move by Sunday. And it became really a strange exchange, couple of exchanges we had this week. So I am looking, and I have a couple of options. Hopefully I will move by tomorrow evening. I will move, but I might need a couple of days at my friend's house just to make sure that I have everything arranged. But why am I telling you this? Because we are now going through such contrasty experiences that seem to be on one level very inviting, very supportive, and then it turns out that we are being faced with very, very sharp polarities. And you can see it on a global level as well, right? The government versus people. They seem to be working in our interest, but you have to understand that is not the case. So with this man in the house, right, he has some traits of sociopathy. There is no compassion. There is no ownership of what he talked about earlier and what was supposed to happen versus what took place. And the same we see in the government. People are using words, people who have power, that give hope, that give the illusion of support and care, but that is not what you're getting, especially if you're watching from America and you live here, you know the system here, you know how people are treated, and they are very disposable here. Just like me, right? I came into this space, I was supposed to help the guy, but who knows what kind of idea he had about this help, right? So from this actually comedy, hilarious standpoint of view, he portrays himself like the savior, right? He's helping me, and I'm like, why did you invite me here? I don't need your help. I could have made other arrangements. Now I have to look for something, or you will call the police. Okay, let's do that. Let's see what happens, right? But obviously I don't want to stay here, and I don't want to aggravate anyone. I don't want to also experience the heaviness of his emotions, because I have been, and I cannot sleep at night. And even though I am not sad, I conduct my Vipassana classes, free by the way. You're welcome to sign up anytime. Message me if you want to sign up. I still end up crying for sometimes half an hour or an hour. Again, it's just like physical release because my body is very much energetically open. So whatever comes from my vessel, it's kind of like a vortex, right? It's gonna get purified, and whatever doesn't need to stay here will be released from the system. Since I purified my body, my mind, my emotions, like I've done this crazy work to empty my vessel, so that I can stay clean, even if I'm in proximity of people who are suffering a lot. So we are experiencing the same intensity when it comes to darkness and light. And I had kind of like a first contact experience living with that kind of a person. So why am I telling you this? What I am really using in this time is humor. Humor is really helping me, visualizing this guy, you know, making me coffee. But really what he wants to do, he wants to smash my head with this coffee maker, right? He doesn't really come from a place of authenticity. But the projection is that he is such a great guy and he's always right, and everything that he says is correct, right? And other perspectives are not. So I want to encourage you not to be afraid to stand up to people like this, because they're not aware. They're suffering. Obviously, there is a lot of trauma in the past of this person. I understand that. I've been there, okay? But the dark humor part of me just wants to play out some scenarios and even tell him, like, listen, no matter how many things you make up, it doesn't make it true. Nobody here believes that, you know? You can't threaten me. I'm not afraid, even if I don't have a place to stay here, even if you call the police. It doesn't matter. I am safe. I have resources, right? I have my friends that are my family here. And what we are experiencing now is a huge opportunity for all of us who are living from the heart frequency to unite and to stand up against people who think that if they portray themselves a certain way, they can like lure you into believing that they're coming from a place of authenticity. Actually, it's all fucking bullshit. And we need to have the guts to speak this up, okay? A lot of people who are meditating are empath. They are afraid to speak up. They're afraid to set boundaries. They're afraid to call out on something that is complete fabrication, okay? So use this opportunity, use this time to really get into the ninja mode, right? Whatever calls for you, right? Doing workouts, doing yoga, doing meditation, joining groups online. Like, we have to have this kind of support and understand that the old structures, if we believe in it, they will prevail. If we give it energy, they will have sustenance, you know? People say all kinds of things, and they believe that, you know, there are no other means for us to detect the truth. Well, actually, we have our electromagnetic bodies. Your heart is over 500 times electromagnetically stronger than your brain, okay? You have these detectors in your body. You have to trust it. You have to understand that you are safe, and really humor gets you to the second level. What I wanted to say is this: you gotta level up your game, okay? This is really the time. So have fun with it, and don't be afraid to just play a bit with it. Because otherwise you're gonna be played, okay? So I have this like microscopic version of what's going on a macro scale, right? Like two forces that are heading up a little bit against each other. And I'm actually very grateful for that, because although I had a really tough day yesterday after this exchange we had in the kitchen, but I actually, as the day progressed and I meditated, I came to a conclusion that I know this already, but it became so clear to me that all these earthy games, religion and all these like illusory wars that people fight, this is all a game. You are a participant in this fucking game, okay? So you're a character and you need to have fun with it. You can add new accessories to the game. And for what it is, use it to your advantage. I'm not talking about like hurting others, but I want you to really go to the higher level, like above, and look at this situation, how religion, for example, is playing into this idea of self-righteousness, who is right, who is wrong, dividing people, and people energy gets involved in this. And now people's energy is involved in this fucking coronavirus, that doesn't even exist in my reality. I live in a version of reality where corona has never existed and never will, okay? So the thing is that you want to go quantum, okay? At this point in time, go to the level of abstraction, okay? In quantum level, there is no continuity, there is no logic, okay? It's all based on a web of connections that you have with all kinds of versions of you, physical, non-physical, in different dimensions of reality. You want to pull as much as you can of it into your being. Use humor, that's one of your tools, right? Use sarcasm, that's what I do all the time. Because I'm like, if they think they can fuck with me, okay, I'm not afraid like to be outside, like I have a place to stay. But while I'm here until tomorrow evening, I'm gonna have some fun here. Because again, like this is a call for us to step up the game and don't really have this understanding and this endless excuse type of mentality to tolerate behavior that is fucking sick, okay? And that's why I'm recording this video, because I'm realizing that this was a moment when I got involved in this earthy shithole, and I'm like, no, this is really not where I belong, and I'm not supporting this, and I'm not giving anyone any power over me, okay? No government, no freaking lockdown, none of this, okay? You want to go quantum, you want to meditate. If you want to learn quantum level living, you can start with my free meditation classes, and I think I'm gonna create a webinar once I get out of here and settle in my new place. But maybe within a week, I will have a webinar and I'm gonna teach a very cheap webinar, maybe 2 hours, on how to tap into quantum level reality and how to create from it. So you can offset the fear, and we're not gonna even get into like emotional healing and all of that. Let's just bypass all of this and go direct. So that you can start really having fun, because on the quantum levels, there's no emotions, there's no like right or wrong, there's no judgment, there's no consensus reality agreements. None of these things can stop you. So if you come from a place of heart, love, you will not hurt anyone, even if they scream at you, even if they shout at you, even if they call you a liar, all of that. Don't get invested in that nonsensical show, okay? This is all smoke and mirrors. You want to go direct, you want to speak from your heart, but you want to tap into forces that are beyond this three-dimensional context of your life. So let me know in the comments down below if that sounds exciting to you. And let's speak to each other, please share with me how are you feeling, what is your emotional state right now, what is happening with you. I love you very much, and we're gonna become really, really stronger. So this is the time to shine. Much love to you. Namaste.